Morning all, and welcome back or welcome to Danny's Cooking. It's currently about 1 in the morning, Saturday the 8th of October. Not all that cold, to be fair. I haven't felt the need to put a coat on yet. I've been here about an hour. I've got my little bass rig out at the moment, but it's pretty rough out there at the moment. The waves are roaring, so I thought I'd start going for a bass to begin with. But after an hour, we've had no bites. I've had a couple of bait checks, and I've just got some squid tails hanging off the hooks at the moment. I whipped on a little bit and that's not been touched, so I thought I would reel this one in and change the rig over. I'm going to put just a one hook, one slew rig on, clip down. The waves are quite fierce. I want, if I can, I'm not going to break any records, but I want to try and chuck it out as far as I can. Try and keep above these waves if possible. And and I've just got some frozen blacks on that, tipped with a little bit of squid. So I'll give that a go and see if we get any joy with that one. So we'll give that a go. See if that brings me anything. It's all been a little bit quiet up to now. Lovely evening, though. The moon's so bright it's almost like daylight. I haven't gone too mad. I've got a shelter with me because I knew it'd be windy when I first got here. The wind's due to drop off over the next couple of hours down to next to nothing. I'll try to persuade Amy to come tomorrow instead of tonight, because tomorrow the weather and wind's supposed to be excellent. And with the moon settings, if you believe in all that, so that there's going to be more fish to cook, more fish to catch Saturday night, and more on Sunday. But I couldn't persuade Amy to come tomorrow. Let's go swimming instead. Yeah, so I thought it's going to be the only chance I get, so I'll come tonight and but with a little bit of wind we got, it's not too bad actually, it's pretty much died off already. But I'm only fishing the one rod again tonight. Little knock there, but I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Let's have a look. I can hear someone playing about on the shingles as well, but I can't see anyone. A little bit frustrating. And that's not quite high enough to go over these waves. There's a bit I've set up on, I don't know if you'll be able to see it or not, but must have had some waves today because that's almost like a sheer drop off of that edge there. So I've got to get over that and over the waves coming in. But we're giving it a go. I said last week, apologies for being away for a while, and I'll say it again. I had a fair few issues. I had a bit of an altercation parking at one venue. It started turning a bit nasty, but I had Amy with me, so I said to Amy, come on, jump in the van, we're off. I didn't want to hang about, all that going on. Then I had poxy COVID, would you believe? Dodged it for 2.5 years, but then I managed to get that off my brother who'd been to an Ed Sheeran concert, thanks very much. But yeah, that knocked me off my feet for a couple of weeks. And then my dad had a fall and he was quite ill for a little while, which was worrying. So that sort of knocked me on the head for a couple of weeks as well. It just seemed like every weekend there was an issue or some problem that stopped me going. But touch wood, everything's alright at the moment, so hopefully start getting back to normal. Tough to hide that smooth out last week. It's only a tiny little one, but last couple of years we locked down this and that. I missed them. I was following the reports. They was all getting them at Hythe, so I come to Hythe and no one was catching them. And they was all getting them at Shakespeare, so I went down there and no one was getting them. Recover, so went over there, and it's quite a trek for an old fella like me. Yeah, the times that I turn up they seem to disappear. I had much the same with the mackerel as well, chasing them round from beach to beach. Only managed to get one reasonable session on the mackerel this year. So yeah, I was quite chuffed with that little smooth van last week. And hopefully we'll have something tonight. I've got a few different rigs to try. A few different baits, some blacks and mackerel and squid and some herring. So we'll give it a good go anyway. So I haven't had a coffee yet, so I think I'll leave you there for now, and I'll give you an update in a little while. Well, I've had my first fish of the night, a humble little whiting. Not seen one of them for a while, but I'm sure over the coming months going to see a lot more of them. I don't mind, I'd rather be catching these than catching nothing. Right, I'll get him back while he's still a bit lively and kicking. I'll update you again in a bit. Well, I've been having a nightmare hour. Just seem to reel into a lot of weed. Not a little weed that you pull off your line, but proper seaweed. And I'll put this on as well, but I hope you can try and show you what I mean. You can see that, but it's completely wrapped that's just one big blob of braid in there, and this seaweed is rock hard. I've just managed to unravel two big lumps as big as a football without losing any braid, because I still had a fair bit of line out. But I mean, as you can see, I'm hoping you can see that there. Oh, look at that. But this is right at the edge now. Trace is just down there, so I don't think I'm going to bother with this for the sake of probably about 20 yards of line. I've sat here for the last hour untangling it all. I'm not going to sit here for another hour and do the rest of it. But yeah, it's really tough weed. It doesn't break when you pull it. And obviously you try not to pull it tight because you want your line very loose. You don't want to tie knots in it. I was amazed to untangle the two I did. I've obviously got a lot more patience than I'll give myself credit for. But yeah, I've sat there and my hands are now absolutely freezing. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to bite the bullet with these two lumps here and cut it off. I say there's only about 20 yards of line there. So yeah, I'm going to cut them off. I haven't got me monospool with me, but I've got my little abu in my box. So before I think about putting this one back out, I might swap it over and put my little rocket on, my little multiplier. That's just got it's got 25 or 30 pound mono on it. So I think I'll chuck that back out and put my braided reels away. If I hadn't have untangled them two first big balls that come in, I'd have probably lost 100 yards of line. I don't really want to do that. So yeah, it's been a bit of a poxy hour, to be honest. I thought I'd have a break, I'd have a coffee and a sandwich, and obviously being dark you can't see, but assuming there's great big lumps of ordinary seaweed floating around, and I've just got caught up in a couple of those. So yeah, that was a nightmare, probably one of the worst I've done, really. Right, I'll get you shut off for a minute, and I'll sort this mess out and change wheels over, and I'll be back to you with an update in a bit. I've lost all track of time. I haven't got the faintest idea what the time is. I'm starting to get light over there, so I'm guessing it's probably about 4:30 in the morning now, I think. So yeah, I'll sort this mess out and I'll get back to you in a bit. Well, that was a mad hour. Not much fun either, to be honest. It was yeah, a nightmare getting wrapped up in all that seaweed. It was the proper seaweed. As a kid, when I used to go swimming in the sea at the beach, you'd pull a big lump of seaweed out, play with it. Proper big seaweed, not the little bits of weed you get on the line, but proper nasty seaweed. And the line must have just been bouncing around with this swell we've got down here at the moment. It's completely wrapped up in it. But I wasn't far off. There was, I only cut off about 20 yards, I think. But having my hands holding that cold weed for so long, hands were absolutely freezing, going blue. But I've always got some little hand warmers in my bag, and I actually got the electronic one out as well. But I haven't brought with me for ages, but I'll see it on the side tonight, but I'll chuck in the bag just in case. Certainly glad I did. Hands are nice and warm again now. I'll chuck my gloves back on in a minute. But yeah, I guessed it was about 4ish. But before I put my little rocket on, I thought I'll check, because if it's nearer 5ish I might not bother. But I've got to leave sort of 6, 7 at the latest in the morning, because the missus has got to go work. So after having all that hassle and cutting the line, I thought, oh, I don't like this. But when I looked at the phone, instead of being 4, it was still only 3 o'clock. So I put my little rocket out. It's got a mono line on it. It's not bouncing around like the freight does. So when I bought them Sonic 10,000s, they come with a spare spool, and I've always had braid on one and mono on the other with a shock leader. I can't even remember what line I put on it now, to be honest. It's that long ago now. But, in the lockdown that was. Just buying stuff out of boredom more than anything. So yeah, I'll have to dig them out, I think. I used to bring them with me all the time, but just never thought I'd ever use them with the braid on there. People used to moan about wind knots with braid and braid this and braid that, but I've never had any problems with it at all, to be honest. Up until tonight, didn't wrap around that weed, but that would have happened whatever line I had on. Yeah, when it's dark, I've not had any weed problem for ages. Go down at Shakespeare, almost never get any weed down there. I had some weed down at Deal in the summer with Amy when we were doing a bit of beach camping, stroke fishing. But, yeah, it's the first time I've had weed down here this year so far. So it might be an idea to keep the mono spools with me. If I'm going to lose any lines to some bad weed, I'd rather it was that than the braid. And get little taps. I've got my little boom rig out again. Get little taps on it. It's some whiting picking at the squid bait on it. Yeah, it's getting a bit colder than I was expecting. Forecast was low of 8 degrees, but it certainly feels a lot colder than that now. Everything's damp, everything's wet. I didn't even bother to bring me new winter coat. I didn't think I needed it. This one's always hanging up in the back of the van, same as my body warmer. I always have a coat in the van just in case, never know, it might break down or something in the rain. So yeah, these two coats live in the back of the van. But yeah, I didn't think I'd need that one tonight. But there we go, we're all warm. This is still, although it's a breathable coat, unlike the other one, this one's still thermal liner in it, and it's nice and warm. I've got the new little hat I've got this week. My other ones are a great, really thick, warm, can't think what they're called now, thermalite or something like that. Absolutely lovely they are if you're walking the dog or something like that, but where they're so thick, every time you look up in the fishing rod, they do this. So I've just bought an ordinary thin one, but now you can look around and all do what you like, and it don't move about so much. But that still keeps the warmth in your body, and they was right enough with the wind forecast, because there's a slight breeze now, but no winds like there was earlier. It's quiet. It's pretty much low tide now. That ledge I've got behind me is quite a drop actually. I was going to walk down and have a look, see if I could see any more weed out there. I'd try and work out what was going on, but that's such a drop, I don't think I'll get back up it. The trouble with only having little legs. But they're great rods, I don't need to go down as far as the water to fish at a reasonable distance. It's only close in, which is all I want really. Nice big bass swimming along in the shallows, that's what I want. Not gonna happen, but that's what I want. Right, I'll leave you on for a minute. It's not been out very long, but I want to bring it in because see whether that weeds all over this one as well. I'm going to refresh the baits on this one and get back out. We'll have a coffee and I'll update you in a little while. Well, morning all. Last update from me, I think. It's about 5:30 now. The weed's still getting a bit naughty. It was a good shout to move over to the mono though. I think I'll have had a nightmare with the braid with this weed. As I said earlier, it's not just a weed that you pick off your line. It's great big clumps of proper seaweed. I think that would have been a nightmare using a braid with that stuff around. But I only had one little whiting, but that's better than a kick in the teeth. So I've had a good evening. It's one of them mornings again where everything's completely and utterly soaked. Had no rain at all. There's a little bit of water in the breeze, but no rain. But everything's damp, everything's soaking wet. I'm going to start packing up. I'm going to have a sit down and a coffee, and then I'm going to start packing up, I think. I'm hoping this video flows a bit better than last week's. I tend to watch them back just to make sure that the quality and the sound's okay. Because when I do the editing on the iPad, it tends to be different to when you actually upload it and watch it through the television. So I watched last week's back, and the tell I ain't done one for a while, very cardboard. So I'm hoping tonight's flowed a little better. I did mention last week that I apologise to Vern, because I know he shouts me out a lot and he's helped the channel a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to add, obviously, although Vern's my number one, has been for quite a while now. Obviously, you've got Shane, your holding godfather. He's helped me out a fair bit and always gives me a mention. And I always watch Shane's videos, same as I do Vern's. Vern's on a Wednesday night, Shane's on a Thursday night normally. But I tend to watch them through the television, not on my phone or the iPad or anything. So I watch them all, and I use the control, give it a thumbs up on the telly, but I always tend to forget to put a comment on. It's only when I see something out of the ordinary I think, oh, I've got to say something, which is normally Shane, a few months ago when he put that music on from Police Academy when him and Vern were dancing on the beach. I nearly fell off the settee. It was hilarious. And his recent one this time, talking about blueies, I was a bit, at first I thought French blueies, no, what's he talking about, no? And then once I clicked what he meant, oh God, I couldn't stop laughing. I haven't heard the expression blueies for a long time. Blueies is in DVDs, not bait. But yeah, and I had to go and the phone's normally in the other room on charge, so I had to go and get that and say something. But yeah, Shane, Vern, and Dino, UK sea fishing. They've all shouted me out quite often, and I always watch all your videos, even if I'm old and forget to comment. But yeah, I certainly don't miss any of them. And Shane and Vern will have to sort something out. They'll have to come up soon. You don't need to redecorate your house, Vern, just so I'll come up and have a day's fishing. I always keep in the van, I don't mind doing that. So yeah, thanks for everyone for watching, everyone that's got this far. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I'm hoping now to get back into it a bit more. I can't see. I'll turn the camera off and then I'll sit down and I'll talk to myself in my head. And I think, now Vern don't do that. He leaves the camera running and talks to the camera rather than talk to himself. But yeah, I'm not funny like Vern, as well as Vern being obviously funny looking. He's quite comical. So he can rattle on and rant as much as he likes. It's like watching a comedy show on the telly. But I don't want to bore you to death. So I turn it off and talk to myself. But yes, again, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. It's all free, don't cost nothing. Don't even have to watch them, just hit that button. It helps me and helps the channel grow, as they say. I know Vern talks about the algorithms and all that. I mean, he loses me, I don't know what he's talking about. But I don't do it for any recognition as such. I'll do it as a record for my kids when I'm long gone, and my grandkids, so they can sit down and watch Grandad fishing if they want to. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll say goodbye for now, and all being well, I'll be out again next weekend. I've got a few days off coming up, a couple of long weekends coming up, so I'll have to make a plan and think about going somewhere different. And I'm sure I'll be with Nathan and John again. Down at Shaky, it's all down to what shifts they're on. I'm stuck Monday to Friday, so I'm gutted when Nathan puts the thing up saying fishing tonight lads on a Tuesday, and I think, oh really? I can't do tonight, but I can do it tomorrow. I think Wednesday I'm sat in the office. But yeah, so I'm strictly a weekend man. I have the odd long weekends. I'll have a Friday off and a Monday. I've got Thursday and Friday off next week. It's the wife's birthday. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get out fishing then, but I'll try my best. Alright, well I won't keep rattling on. I'll talk to you all again soon.